Hello everyone, it's time for today's Farm and Ranch News, and today's report finds us in San Antonio, Texas at the 2020 Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA Trade Show. And there is quite a lot of folks coming down to Texas for this year's event, and we are down on the Riverwalk. And joining me is a familiar face for our viewers, Jennifer Houston, president of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association from Tennessee. Jennifer, it's been a big year in 2019, moving into 2020. What are you looking back on as we wrap up your year of service as the president of NCBA?
Well, I've been fortunate to be a recipient of a lot of hard work by a lot of NCBA members, staff, and officers over the last few years. We've had some great victories this year. We've had victories in trade, whether we're talking about European Union, U.S.-only beef quota, whether we're talking about the bilateral with Japan, just most recently the Phase 1 deal with China, as well as finally USMCA across the finish line. So all of those should bring better times for the beef industry and a chance to showcase our beef to the world.
Now, we also saw some changes on federal regulations in regards to NEPA. Could you expand on that as well?
Yeah, we did. As most of y'all know, NEPA has just been something that has been a burdensome, time-consuming, overly complicated affair, especially for our public lands ranchers. So the announcement this month is that they're going to really streamline NEPA. They're going to make you not have to go to 5 different agencies. They promised a decision within 2 years instead of some of the 7, 10, or even I think the worst case scenario I heard was 30 years and no answer. So it should be great not only for our grazing land producers, but anybody that uses federal bridges and federal roads. They have to go through that same NEPA process.
Well, Jennifer, I just want to thank you for joining us here today and for your service to the cattle industry. And I think she set a record the amount of times she was in the White House with the president at many of these signings. Again, Jennifer, thank you for joining us here today. Friends, don't go too far. We'll have more news right after this. Today's report from San Antonio, Texas, we see that the U.S. cattle inventory report, well, it was released on Friday, and it shows a slight decline in inventory levels from a year ago. The report pegged the U.S. cattle herd at 94.4 million head on January 1, 2020. That was slightly below the 94 million head reported last year. All heifers 500 pounds and over as of January 1, 2020 totaled 20.1 million head. That was slightly below the 20.2 million head on January 1, 2019. Beef replacement heifers came in at 5.7 million head. That was down 2% from a year ago. And cattle and feedlots totaled 14.7 million, up 2% from last year. And finally, the 2019 calf crop in the United States was estimated at 36.1 million head, down 1% from last year's calf crop. Also, friends, a big part of this year's event that I know a lot of folks at home are anticipating is Thursday morning's Cattle Facts Cattle Market Outlook. We'll have an outlook on what those prices may be and a full report here later this week on the Montana Ag Network. That will do it from the 2020 Cattle Industry Convention here in San Antonio. I'm Lane Nordlund.